Did you know that according to the National Institute of Mental Health, more than 70% of adults suffer from public speaking anxiety? That is nearly 3 out of 4 people that have their hearts race, their voice shake, and their mind go blank, all because they weren't taught early enough how to handle it. But what if we could change that story for our kids? What if we could help them be unafraid to speak, to lead, to share their ideas with confidence? Welcome to Lemonade Launch, where we help raise entrepreneurial kids. And today I'm going to show you exactly how you could help your child become a confident public speaker. Not by giving lectures, not by purchasing expensive classes, but by using everyday moments to teach them a skill that will last them a lifetime. The statistic I cited earlier means that most adults who are brilliant and capable are struggling simply because they didn't build the confidence early enough. The secret to raising a confident speaker isn't fancy classes or formal lectures, it is micro moments, small, everyday chances to speak. Everyday life is a speaking playground. Think of all the small opportunities for our kids to practice speaking. When you're at the grocery store and you're looking for that ingredient for a recipe you're making, don't be the one to ask for help. Encourage your child to seek it out. Let them be the one to talk to the cashier. The conversations don't have to be extremely long, but them talking to strangers will help them to build confidence. When you're at a restaurant with your family, challenge your kids to memorize the orders for everyone. And when the waiter comes, greet them, ask them for their name, and be the one to put the entire order for the table themselves. Of course, it'll be challenging at first, but these small opportunities will help them to become braver, build courage, and over time, become more confident. The key is making these interactions feel natural, not a special event, but just part of daily life. The more normal it feels to speak to strangers, to ask for what they need, to explain their ideas, no matter how small the situation, the more natural it becomes when things get a lot more complicated. These moments, small as they may seem, are laying the foundation for future conversations with peers, teachers, and eventually in more formal settings. The more we let them practice, the more confident they'll become. So, what do all great speakers have in common? Well, they are all amazing storytellers. Storytelling is at the heart of public speaking, and that is something we should work on with our kids as well. Amazing storytellers know how to engage their audience, to keep them on the edge of their seat, to leave a lasting impression. So, how do we develop that skill for our kids? Make storytelling a part of their everyday life. Take opportunities such as a car ride to ask them questions. What was the highlight of your week? What is something funny that happened at school today? Encourage them to use energy and detail when giving you the responses. And of course, you could ask follow-up questions to help guide them. This will help them to learn how to structure their responses, how to paint a picture with words, and how to grab attention of the audience. You could also get creative with your questions. If you could invent a superhero, what would they be like? It's not just about the content, it's about how your kids tell the story. Storytelling teaches flow, structure, emotion, the DNA of every great speech. And when your kids learn how to express themselves through stories, they'll be able to connect with others on a deeper level. And that's really what makes extraordinary speakers. And what's another powerful tool for helping to build public speaking skills? Memory work and recounting. Have your child memorize a poem, a joke, or even a famous speech. The key is to choose something that excites them, something they can connect with. Maybe they can choose it for themselves. Then once they've got it down, have them retell it, but with their own twist. Let them put their own unique spin on it. Now, why does this work so well? Memorization builds structure. It teaches your kids how to organize words, phrases, and ideas. It helps them to learn the flow of thoughts, how to deliver it. And the magic happens when they start recounting the memorized story and adding their own twist to it. It teaches them to improvise, to think on their feet, but in the back of their minds, have that structure in place. And the goal is to keep it light, fun, without pressure. The more your child practices in these relaxed settings, the more comfortable they'll become speaking in front of others. These exercises aren't just about memorizing words, they're about building confidence. And as your child gets more comfortable with recounting stories and speeches, they'll start feeling more confident expressing themselves in all kinds of situations. Another tip: engage your kids in adult conversations. It's probably the simplest but most overlooked tool that you could use to help them build confidence. Let's say you're having a dinner party with your friends at home. Don't just give an iPhone or an iPad to your child and send them off to play by themselves. Engage them. Include them in the conversations. Maybe ask them to share something they learned in school, and it could lead to a fun discussion with adults as well. Adults naturally speak differently. There's more patience, more structure, and often more intention in the way they phrase their thoughts. When kids hear this and interact in that environment, it has a profound impact on their own speaking skills. They pick up on nuances, the rhythm of the conversation, how to stay on topic, and how to structure the responses in a clear and thoughtful way. Remember that public speaking isn't just one big moment. It's thousands of tiny little moments stacked on top of each other. When you give your child a chance to speak up at the restaurant, when you involve them in adult conversations at home, when you laugh at their silly stories from school or listen to them teach you how to draw a spaceship, you're doing something extremely powerful. You're telling them that their voice matters. And a child who grows up knowing that their voice matters will be unafraid to use it. Stay consistent, use many small opportunities to have your child practice speaking, and he or she will be extremely successful in life. Thank you so much for watching this quick video on some tips of how you could raise a confident public speaker. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you have any interesting stories to share or any other tips that could help other parents. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.